guys, Camilla here and welcome to my YouTube channel and 12 Days of Christmas Card Series 2016. Today I will be creating an interactive card using this Lawn Fawn stamp set sprinkled with joy. I didn't want to keep this video super long, so I pre-colored the oven. I used some pro markers that I will list in my blog post. I decided to color it red and green, and now I'm gonna stamp out some other images that I'm gonna use on the card, and I'm gonna color them with you. To stamp out my images, I'm using Memento Tuxedo Black ink because I will be coloring them using my alcohol markers. I'm using pro markers and some Copic Chows. I fussy cut all my images, leaving a little white border around each one, and now I die cut my front panel using Memory Box cross-stitched frame dies. And now I'm gonna use my craft knife to cut out the middle section of my oven where the glass should be, and I'm gonna add some acetate there. And then I'm gonna use my craft knife once again, and I'm gonna cut it in a way that I can later open the oven, so above the handle. I'm using some double-sided tape to adhere my acetate, and at this point I actually could have done this later before I started cutting my opening the oven element, because after I added my acetate it was kind of hard to score the bottom part where the oven would be opening. So in case you are creating a similar card, just keep in mind that it'd probably be best if you didn't add that acetate at the beginning. Also, I thought I'm gonna create this video because I know it's much easier to get the Lawn Fawn dies and just create the card that way, and if I could afford it now I would probably get the dies myself, but I just wanted to show you that with a little effort you can create it without the dies and still have a cool effect. And so you saw before I made little dots with my pencil, so I know exactly where to cut and to which point rather. And now I scored the bottom part so you can see the oven is opening. And now I'm gonna create a handle on the oven. So I cut a thin strip of white cardstock, and I'm gonna measure how long it has to be on like against my already colored image. And then I'm gonna score in 4 places so that I can bend it on both sides, so that it kind of is this 3D effect, so it sticks out. And now I'm coloring with my pro markers to add that nice kind of steel color. I'm using some cool grays. And then I'm gonna use double-sided tape at the edges of my handle and attach it to my oven. So it's really that simple, and it gives that cool effect if you want to have like a little handle sticking out so that somebody actually pulls and opens the oven. I thought that was a real nice touch to the already interactive oven. And here is the handle. I thought it turned out really cool. And you could even use some shimmer cardstock to add more realistic look to the handle. And now I'm gonna add the sentiment. I'm using the May Your Christmas Be Sweet. And I'm gonna stamp the top one with green ink and the bottom one with red. I'm gonna also add exclamation point later on and 2 Christmas trees. First I'm stamping out the oven though, and I'm removing the middle part because that's where I want to color over with my pro marker with dark gray, so it kind of looks like the inside of the oven. And also I want to know exactly where to adhere that oven I already colored. As you can see, some of the stamping is still there. I didn't clean it perfectly, but it doesn't matter because I'm going over this whole area with a dark gray marker. And like I said, for the top sentiment, I'm using Versacolor fresh green pigment ink to stamp out my sentiment. And at the bottom, I'm using a VersaFine satin red ink. It's also a pigment ink, and I'm gonna stamp the word sweet at the bottom. And now I'm gonna use some multi-medium matte by Ranger. It's a glue with a matte finish to adhere my elements on my baking tray. And I'm gonna also adhere it to the bottom of my oven and stick the oven on top. I'm also using the glue, and the reason why I'm using multi-medium matte is because when the glue dries, it actually dries matte, it's not glossy, so even when the glue kind of squirts out on the sides, you will not be able to notice it. It will not be shiny. And now I'm adding those two Christmas trees and an exclamation mark at the bottom. And then I wanted to add some pattern paper behind my card front, and I went with this beautiful Christmas perfectly plaid pattern paper by Lawn Fawn. I just love all the colors, and I went with this one that one of the greens matched my oven, and then the green cardstock for the card base. And now I took this banner die to create a kitchen towel that will be hanging off the handle on my oven. I scored it so that it can go like around my handle. And then I also took some stitched borders die by Lawn Fawn to add a little pattern going across my kitchen towel, as you can see here. I thought it will add a little bit of interest. And so now I'm just gonna add some double-sided tape at the back of my front panel. I'm not gonna pop that one up, but I'm gonna add some fun foam to the back of pattern paper, and then I'm gonna pop it all on my card base. I then added my little jar with sprinkles on top of my oven, and I used some glossy accents on my knobs to just add a little bit of dimension and shine on my oven. And that finishes the card for today of the day 1 of 12 Days of Christmas card series 2016. I hope you enjoyed the video and got inspired. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you again soon with the day 2 of Christmas card series. Have a great day. Bye!